Welcome to South Asia Today, a show that provides you the glimpses of South Asia. I'm your host, Shivangi Mishra. Let's begin with the headlines first. Alternative fuels at the wheel, India's green ride takes off. Suicide bombing attack in Pakistan's Peshawar kills 2, wounds 7 others. Tehreek-e-Ittifaq-e-Rai holds anti-Pakistan protests in POK. Let's begin the show. India's growth story is one of innovation, ambition and resilience. The country has consistently strived to enhance the standard of living of her people. She has endeavored to foster an environment that guarantees her citizens both quality and convenience. India's massive transportation system is being meticulously shaped to transcend a multi-frontal challenge of hassle, pollution and delays. Green transition remains the foremost priority of the government in not just dealing with everyday transportation challenges, but also to gradually eradicate the overwhelming carbon emissions. Have a look.
India's transportation sector is a dynamic and vibrant ecosystem that connects people, places, and possibilities. From the bustling streets of Mumbai to the scenic highways of Ladakh, India's transportation network is a testament to its diversity, ingenuity, and resilience. India's railways are a marvel of engineering and human ingenuity, with over 115,000 kilometers of track, more than 7,000 stations, and a vast array of trains that cater to every budget and taste. From the iconic Rajdhani Express to the quaint toy trains of Darjeeling, India's railways are a microcosm of its diversity and complexity.
देश अब क्लीन, कंजेशन फ्री और कन्वीनियंट मोबिलिटी की तरफ बढ़ रहा है.
The Indian metro system is one of the most efficient and environmentally friendly modes of transportation in the country. With millions of passengers using the metro system every day, it is essential that the system is designed to reduce carbon emissions and promote sustainability. One of the most significant ways that the Indian metro is reducing its carbon footprint is through the use of renewable energy sources. Many metro stations in India are equipped with solar panels that generate electricity and power the stations. Solar power is a clean and renewable source of energy that is free from carbon emissions, making it an ideal solution for reducing the carbon footprint of the metro system. India's first underwater metro, which spans over 3,300 kilometers and will run from the east-west corridor of Kolkata, is a testament to the country's engineering prowess. With such cutting-edge technologies and state-of-art facilities, India has become an icon for development for the world. Hydrogen as a fuel has entered the Indian market as well. Hydrogen cars are ready to take over Indian roads, and India's first hydrogen train will be hitting tracks by the end of this year and will surely change the face of travel.
आत्मनिर्भर भारत की एक और मिसाल है हाइड्रोजन ट्रेन. दिसंबर 2023 तक हाइड्रोजन ट्रेन बन के निकलेगी, जो कि पूरी तरह से भारत में डिजाइन, भारत में मैन्युफैक्चर.
Electric vehicles are sweeping across India. With zero tailpipe emission, lower operating cost, comfortable and a smoother ride, electric vehicles are redefining transportation and challenging conventional fuel strengths.
The research and academic institutions in India are working hard for the development of indigenous and low-cost battery technology for electric vehicles. We are aggressively pursuing research on green hydrogen as a transport fuel. So I am very much confident that on that line we are working because that is the need of the country.
The Indian government is pushing electric vehicles and equipping them to dominate the industry. From tax incentives to subsidies, building charging infrastructure to battery swapping policies, India is making way to accelerate her green transition. The electrification of Indian railways is an evolutionary, brighter, more sustainable future. By reducing the reliance on fossil fuels, electrification helps to reduce the carbon footprint and improve the air quality in the surrounding areas. The transition to electric trains is making India's goal of achieving a net zero carbon emission target by 2070 clear and visible. With every new route kilometer electrified and every new electric locomotive produced, the railways are moving closer to a greener nation. The electrification of over 1,900 route kilometers during the 2022 to 2023 fiscal year is an incredible accomplishment, representing a 41% increase from the previous year. Additionally, the production of 785 electric locomotives in the first few months of the fiscal year is a remarkable feat. From buses to trains to personal vehicles, India has made remarkable progress in switching to green energy. This is even more significant as India, despite being an emerging economy, has maintained an approach that has been responsible and focused on the goal of eliminating her carbon footprint.
Now, let's shift our focus on Pakistan, a country plagued by escalating violence and insecurity, finds itself teetering on the edge of chaos. The recent tragic attack in Peshawar, which killed and wounded innocents, serves as a grim reminder of the growing dangers within its borders. While the nation grapples with the aftermath, questions arise about its role in cultivating extremism and terrorism. Pakistan is already accused of serving as a sanctuary for the world's most feared militants, including 26/11 mastermind Hafiz Saeed and Sajid Mir.
Last week, a suicide bombing near a paramilitary truck in Peshawar, Pakistan left 2 persons dead, 8 others injured. Tehreek-e-Jihad Pakistan, a recently formed jihadist organization, claimed responsibility for the explosion. Since revoking a ceasefire agreement with the government in late 2022, jihadist militants have increased their attacks, including the bombing of a mosque in the northwest city of Peshawar earlier this year that left over 100 people dead.
जिसमें फ्रंटियर कोर की गाड़ी को निशाना बनाया गया है। अपेरेंटली अभी तक जितना हमने असेस किया है ये एक BBID भी हो सकता है, बाकी जावियों के ऊपर भी इन्वेस्टिगेशन चल रही है। इसमें हमारे पास काउंटर टेररिज्म डिपार्टमेंट, हमारी जो यहाँ पे इलाके की पुलिस है और बाकी तमाम एजेंसीज जो हैं उनकी सपोर्ट भी है और हम इसको डिफरेंट एंगल से अभी इन्वेस्टिगेट कर रहे हैं।
The recent deadly attack in Peshawar, claiming the lives of 2 innocent individuals, has cast a dark shadow over Pakistan's security landscape, raising alarm bells among its citizens and the international community. As the nation faces growing concerns over internal radicalization and terrorism, Pakistan finds itself at a critical juncture, grappling with the consequences of nurturing extremism within its border for decades. The attack in Peshawar serves as a stark testament to the escalating insecurity plaguing the country. The nation's long-standing history of harboring radicals and terrorists in its own backyard has come under renewed scrutiny, challenging the very foundations of its security apparatus.
इस इंसिडेंट में 6 जो हमारे जवान हैं फ्रंटियर कोर के वो जख्मी हुए, उनको अस्पताल में शिफ्ट कर दिया गया है। उनका वहाँ पे इलाज मुआवजा जो है वहाँ पे चल रहा है।
Experts warn that Pakistan's complex geopolitical dynamics and its status has a safe haven for some of the world's most dreaded global terrorists demand urgent and comprehensive action. Pakistan's deep state of army, which rules the roost in the country, is accused of working overtime to prepare terrorists who serve as assets to it, in order to launch terror attacks in neighboring India and Afghanistan. However, not every time Pakistan has reaped the favorable dividends. Sometimes its endeavors have proven counterproductive. The country has lost several of its citizens to terror turncoats. The situation is increasingly growing grim in Pakistan, and the international community is closely observing Islamabad's response to this critical issue. Diplomatic pressure is mounting for Pakistan to demonstrate its commitment to eradicating terrorism from its soil and to ensure that its territory is not misused by violent non-state actors with transnational ambitions. As Pakistan navigates the treacherous path towards stability and peace, its citizens hold their breath, yearning for a brighter and a safer future. The world watches with a mix of concern and hope as Pakistan confronts its demons and seeks to redefine its place in the global fight against terrorism.
Now we take a look at some happenings in Asia in a segment called Asia Watch.
Palestinians in Jenin took to the streets in protest following the arrest of 5 members of militant group Islamic Jihad by Palestinian forces. Earlier on Monday, Islamic Jihad said that Palestinian security forces detained 5 of their members in the city overnight, underlining rifts between groups in the West Bank 2 weeks after Israel launched its largest raid there in years. Israel, which says its raid targeted militants, has pressed the Palestinian Authority to take tougher action against Iran-backed Islamic Jihad and Hamas, which controls the Gaza Strip and also has fighters in the West Bank. There was no immediate comment from Israel on the reported arrest or from the security forces of the Palestinian Authority, which exercises limited governance in parts of the West Bank. The city of Jenin and the huge adjoining refugee camp have been at the heart of an escalation of violence across the West Bank that has triggered mounting alarm from Washington to the Arab world. Militant groups have accused the Palestinian Authority of weakness and failing to do enough to stand up to Israel. The finance ministers of the G20 countries gathered in the western Indian state of Gujarat on the second day of the third finance meeting of bloc, hoping to push for agreements on debt restructuring for vulnerable countries, mitigate global debt risk, global minimum taxation, and reforms on the multilateral development banks. Ministers from many countries chose to skip the meeting, which added to the slow progress on the issue. The United States has sent the biggest delegation, led by Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, to the meeting. Finance ministers from Japan, Australia, Canada, Indonesia, South Korea, South Africa, along with the United States and India were present. Argentina, Brazil, France and Mexico only sent junior-level officials. German and British ministers did not attend the meeting. However, Germany's central bank chief Joachim Nagel attended. The two-day meetings that kicked off last week were seen as key to setting the tone for the G20 Leaders Summit in September in New Delhi. Sun protection clothing is all the rage in Beijing, where a new record was set after temperatures remained above 35 Celsius for the 28th day in a row. Wide-brimmed hats, full-face masks and sleeves made of a cooling, UV-resistant fabric have become especially popular among residents and visitors who want protection from the sun. For 42-year-old Beijing resident Liu, comfort is key to wearing protective clothes as the weather is already very hot and stuffy and the clothes could make it difficult to breathe. Some children like 8-year-old Joy Sinchi was even spotted wearing solar-powered hats with inbuilt fans to keep cool. According to a staff member surnamed Duan at Bairong Mall, a wholesale shopping center in Beijing, the unusually hot weather and the reopening after the pandemic have led to a wider variety of colors and styles for cooling sleeves this year. However, wearing layers to protect from the sun is not for everyone. 16-year-old Ma Jiajun, who is decked out in a singlet while he chooses a hat at a store, concedes that the sun protection clothes prevent sunburn, but it is also very hot to wear them.
Several activists, locals and students came out on the streets in Muzaffarabad to register their protest against the POK administration. Led by Tehreek-e-Ittifaq-e-Rai, the protesters raised the issue of basic human rights and several other concerns regarding safety of lives on roads in the mountainous region and compensation for the victims of boat capsizing incident in the Mediterranean Sea. We have a report.
यहाँ पे रोजगार के मौके ही नहीं है, यहाँ पे बिजनेस नहीं है, यहाँ पे हमें जीने के जो वो भूख ही नहीं दस्तयाब है।
Many activists and students are out on streets in Muzaffarabad city of Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. They are against the administration for the negligence they have shown towards the basic human rights of the people for over last 7 decades. The protests were organized by Tehreek-e-Ittifaq-e-Rai all across the region.
कहने को तो आज़ाद रियासत है, लेकिन इसमें आज़ादी नाम की कोई चीज़ नहीं है। आपको पुलिस पकड़ के लाए, आपने जुर्म किया हो या ना किया हो, 2-4 दिन आपके थाने में लग जाएंगे और जाते ही आपके वहाँ पे कपड़े उतार के तशद्दुद का निशाना बनाया जाता है। पढ़ लिख जाएं, डिग्रियाँ लेकर आप दफ्तर जाएं, आपको कहीं नौकरी नहीं मिलेगी। एक का दर्द, सबका दर्द, एक का दर्द, सबका दर्द।
Dr. Amjad Ayub Mirza, an activist from POK, has been leading the movement from outside the region. The activist has remained a staunch supporter of human rights for the people of Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. He is living in exile and keeping the movement against the forceful occupier.
दीवार वो न होने की वजह से आज़ाद कश्मीर में हादसात की वजह से सैकड़ों लोग जो है ना वो जानों से हाथ धो बैठते हैं। आए रोज एक्सीडेंट होता है कि गाड़ी, मोटरसाइकिल, जीप, कार दरिया में जा गिरी हो, जो वो इंसानी जान का क्या हो।
They want safety railings and retaining walls to be constructed in the mountainous regions of POK for the safety of truck drivers and the people. The protesters complain more than hundreds have died in fatal road accidents in the mountainous regions due to the absence of railings and retaining walls.
कि हम अपनी आवाज़ वक्त पे हुक्मरानों तक पहुँचाएं, उस अथॉरिटी तक पहुँचाएं जो ये सारे काम कर रहे हैं, जिनकी जिम्मेदारी होती है। लेकिन हमारे यहाँ ये है कि यहाँ तो इंसाफ के इदारे काम करते हैं, न रियासती इदारे काम करते हैं और न ही वो लोग काम करते हैं जिनको ये काम करने की रियासत की तरफ से जिम्मेदारी दी होती है। हमारी समाज के अंदर बेइंसाफी अरूज पे है, अदालतों थानों से इंसाफ नहीं मिलता, थानों में मजलूम के साथ वो सलूक होता है जो जालिम के साथ नहीं होता। अदालतों में कई साल मुकदमात भुगताने के बाद जो है वो बाज़त बरी कर देते हैं मुजरिमों को और बेगुनाह लोग 20-20 साल सजा काटने के बाद रिहा होते हैं और उनको 20 साल का कोई मुआवजा नहीं दिया जाता।
The activists blame Pakistan for its sinister designs in POK and torturing and arresting several activists from the region. Enforced disappearances, extrajudicial killings and relentless violations of human rights have been parts of modus operandi of Pakistan to subvert any uprising against the stooge administration of POK. India, the land of rich cultural diversity, proudly holds a heritage of various art forms, each showcasing the country's artistic prowess. Among these treasures is the illustrious art of Basoli paintings. Originating in the small town of Basoli in Jammu and Kashmir, Basoli paintings are a fusion of Hindu mythology, Mughal miniature techniques and local hill art. With a history dating back to the 17th and 18th centuries, these paintings have captivated art enthusiasts for generations. An exquisite form of painting characterized by a vigorous application of primary colors and deep-set facial patterns is one unique feature of Basoli painting of Kathua that leaves the viewers mesmerized at first glance. While the captivating Basoli painting draws its inspiration from Vaspianism, the themes have mostly been taken from epics and Purans. Hailing from the foothills of the western Himalayas, the art defies convention as it draws out the illustrations with vibrant and bold colors and has been spread throughout the regions of Jammu and Punjab. While its origins can be traced back to the 17th and early 18th century in Basoli, the painting later found its way to other hill states of Mankot, Nurpur, Kullu, Mandi, Suket, Bilaspur, Nalagarh, Chamba, Guler and Kangra. The old eccentric art of Kathua have been awarded the geographical indication GI tag, making it the first art piece of Jammu and Kashmir to have the license to preserve its uniqueness. And now, when the Amarnath Yatra has begun, the government is making efforts to showcase these artworks.
ये लोकल आर्टिस्ट से ज़्यादा ये हमारे कॉलेज के बच्चे हैं जो इसको यहाँ पे पेंटिंग को बना रहे हैं। बसोली पेंटिंग जैसे कि आप जानते हैं GI टैग वाली पेंटिंग है जो कठुआ की बसोली की एक फेमस, बहुत ही अब तो पूरे देश में ये प्रसिद्ध होने लगी है। तो इसीलिए क्योंकि जब यहाँ पे इतनी भारी मात्रा में यात्री आते हैं तो प्रशासन ये चाहता था कि ऐसी पेंटिंग जगह जगह पे हो ताकि लोग उसको अप्रिशिएट करें और लोग भी देखें कि जम्मू कश्मीर में, कठुआ में, बसोली में लोग कितने ज़्यादा कार्यरत हैं और कितना उनमें कैपेबिलिटी और टैलेंट।
The walls of the town became canvas for the college-going students who exhibited their exceptional skills of sketching the bold and vibrant folk art of hills in the gateway of Jammu and Kashmir. The alluring selfie points created at various sites in Kathua were drawing the attention of pilgrims who couldn't resist stopping by the wall paintings to appreciate the art and take a selfie to seize the moment.
आज मैंने यहाँ पे बनाई है बसोली पेंटिंग। तो इस बनाने का मेरा इसका मकसद ये है कि जो भी यहाँ बाहर से स्टेट से जो लोग आएंगे वो हमारे कल्चर के बारे में जानेंगे यहाँ पे आकर, और उनको पता चलेगा कि हमारा जे के कल्चर क्या है। और जगह जगह हमारे जो जितनी भी जम्मू कश्मीर में जगहें हैं देखने के लिए वो उनके पोस्टर लगे हुए हैं, ताकि वो इसलिए लगाए गए हैं ताकि जो टूरिस्ट हैं वो उनको अपनी तरफ अट्रैक्ट कर सकें।
The traditional art form originated in the Basoli town of Jammu and Kashmir is a fusion of Hindu mythology, Mughal miniature technique and folk art of the local hills. The intricate form of miniature art requires a special type of stone color exported from Jaipur and paint brushes made out of the long hairs from the squirrel tails. These materials are essential for creating the fine details that are the key characteristics of this art form.
ये हमारी बहुत ही पुरानी फॉर्म है पेंटिंग की। इसमें बहुत से रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस होते हैं इसको बनाने के लिए, और इसे हम मिनिएचर पेंटिंग भी कहते हैं। जैसे इसमें हमने बताया है कि इसका जो बॉर्डर है वो येलो होगा, और बसोली पेंटिंग में मैक्सिमम बॉर्डर येलो ही होते हैं। अगर नाइट भी होगा तो उसका ग्रे बॉर्डर होगा और ग्रे बेस लाइन होगी। इसमें बताते हैं कि इसमें इसको बनाने के लिए ना स्टोन कलर्स का यूज़ किया जाता है, स्टोन कलर्स जो कि जयपुर से मिलते हैं।
The Basoli painting of Kathua is merely a glimpse of India's culturally rich and diverse art and craft. Around the corner, one can find ample examples of such wonders which would bewitch you with their old charm. It's time for me to wrap up today's episode. We'll be back next week at the same time. This is Shivangi Mishra signing off on the behalf of the entire production team of South Asia Today. Goodbye and take care.